Welcome to the GCN Tech Show.
This week we've got some new electric bikes, which I think are super cool. Plus we've got tyre trimming, your bikes, your upgrades, the bike vault, and
whatever happened to graphene?
Now, some of you may well remember that we've used Schindelhauer bikes before in some of our urban videos, and we've always been impressed with the quality of them. So we reckon it's certainly worthy of a shout out for the fact that for 2019 they're releasing 4 new urban e-bikes.
Yeah, I like these bikes, and one of the things that I like about them is their names.
What?
So, they're not called the Schindelhauer Carbo Evo SLE Super Mega Turbo 5000, as you might expect. But they're actually called people's names. So You've got Karl, Hannah, Adam, Heinrich, those sorts of things. And Adam has a MAHLE hub motor on the rear, and Heinrich, Karl, and Hannah all have Bosch motors in the frame. And Hannah has incidentally a step-through frame design. And Karl, right, get this,
go on,
the world's first single-speed bike powered by a Bosch motor.
I doff my cap to you there, Karl. Very good. Now, what I reckon is so cool about these as well is the fact that they use belt drive. So it's really clean and tidy, isn't it? And I just think that, that is probably the future for urban bikes.
Yeah, in the past, the low maintenance of it.
Yeah, in the past I was a little bit unsure of it. I thought, is it really necessary? But actually, most people who use a bike around town absolutely hate cleaning them, don't they? So that certainly gets a shout out. But what do you reckon about e-bikes anyway? I mean, in the past, they used to get a pretty hard time, didn't they? I mean, admittedly, when they first came out, I was a bit like, what do you want them for? But actually, more people on bikes are better.
Yeah, less cars, more people on bikes. Where's all the graphene at?
I'll have a look, but I can't seem to find it, mate.
So a couple of years ago, Cy did a really cool video on how graphene could revolutionise bike design. But a couple of years later, where is it?
Yeah, and it's not just about the bikes either, because we were hearing about bulletproof everything, impossibly thin circuit boards, space elevators, those really fast charging batteries that I'm still wanting, and the list of applications seemed endless.
It did. So before we go any further, let's just have a quick recap to exactly what graphene is. So it's best described as being a single layer of graphite, and it was discovered by 2 Russian scientists at the University of Manchester, Geim and Konstantin Novoselov, and it's an allotrope of carbon. What that means is that it contains carbon, but the atoms are arranged in a specific way. So other allotropes of carbon include diamond, buckminsterfullerene, coal, and carbon nanotubes.
Now, all of these contain the same carbon atoms, just arranged in a different structure. And on an atomic level, they're actually 200 times stronger than steel, yet flexible, and also conduct electricity. Now, I've got a fact for you, mate, because the carbon-carbon bonds within graphene are stronger than those within diamonds. How much stronger is that?
The sp3 hybridized tetrahedral bonds in diamond are 369 kilojoules per mole, whereas the sp2 hybridized aromatic bonds in graphene are 517 kilojoules per mole.
Obviously, I guess that's more.
It's 148 more.
There we are. What about the applications then, where we have seen graphene being used, such as Vittoria tyres, Daci bikes, for instance?
Yeah, although these products claim to feature graphene, it's important to realise that it's not in the form of like a large-scale sheet, as our imagination may suggest. Graphene is available mostly at the moment as a black powder, and it's this black powder that's incorporated into those products. So in the case of Daci bikes, it's small amounts of the black powder are put into the resin of the carbon fibre, and small amounts of the black powder are put into the rubber compound for Vittoria Corsa G tyres. So what we have, therefore, isn't things built out of graphene, it's composite materials that contain graphene.
And what's held graphene back then?
Graphene is a 2D material. It's just a single layer of carbon atoms. So as soon as you start combining multiple layers of graphene together to make something tangible that you can actually hold in the real world, well, it essentially just becomes graphite.
Graphite, so the thin, brittle material which we find in the lead of a pencil.
Well, yeah, exactly that. So, quite a cool fact actually. If you actually wanted to make a piece of graphene that was just 1 millimetre thick, you would have to laminate over 3 million layers of graphene together, which is, and well, you just end up with super refined graphite, really.
Now, the bonds in graphene are very strong, but the bonds between separate graphene layers are actually bloody weak.
Yeah, a really good example of this in everyday life is exactly how pencils work. They exploit this because when you draw on a piece of paper with a pencil, you're actually exploiting those weak bonds between the layers in graphite to slide off layers of graphene onto the paper.
And this means that most applications of graphene are likely to actually be on an atomic scale, doesn't it? Furthermore, there are other limitations too. So, competition from other materials and also new technologies, plus carbon nanotubes, for example. So tubes of carbon atoms, they've been around since the 90s and they've got heaps of applications, haven't they?
Yeah, they're pretty exciting in their own right, and we haven't seen widespread use of them yet, really. Another big limitation is cost. So manufacturing large amounts of high quality graphene is difficult and at the moment very expensive, although strides are being made to reduce the cost and improve manufacturing techniques. And Sony have actually reportedly done pretty well at this. So they reckon that they've made a piece of graphene that's 23 centimetres.
Is that all?
By 100 metres.
Okay, that's a lot. That's a hell of a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah, that's exciting actually.
That is really cool. And that's just 1 atom thick, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's not thick, is it, that? Now, one of the issues with graphene is actually all of the hype that was around it, isn't it? Because there was so much hype. Oh, graphene this, graphene that. What will we see next? And well, we've not really seen anything. But I'm pretty sure that most people out there can understand the fact that new tech does take quite a while to slowly get integrated into applications. And I'm pretty sure that we will see it used in the future.
Yeah, these things don't happen overnight. People just need to be more patient.
They do indeed. They need to be like us. We like cricket, which is a game that lasts 5 days sometimes and can end in a draw.
Well,
we're patient, aren't we?
And yeah, and I think also people need to, understand the limitations of graphene. So we're not going to see carbon frames built entirely out of graphene. What we are going to see is more composite materials that contain graphene within them. And another area where strides are being made is printed graphene circuits onto clothing. Because it's flexible and can stretch, it works well on clothing. So your bib shorts and your jersey, well, they could have graphene circuits on them.
Why would you ever want that?
Well, aside from the fact that you'd get to look like you were in Tron.
Oh, it always goes back to this, isn't it? Looking cool.
You could also have things like, sensors built into your clothing. So, well, God knows what they'll be, but, things like heart rate.
Yeah, some good safety
monitors
features
could be in there.
as well.
Yeah, be interesting.
Good idea. But what we want to know, though, what you actually think about graphene, is it all just hype? Or is actually there going to be some great uses of it in the future?
Yeah, well, let us know in the comments section down below what you'd like to see graphene used for. Good or evil. We don't mind. But
about the evil ones, but actually no, include them all. Include them all.
And we'll read some of them out next week, some of the best potential applications for graphene.
Yeah, get stuck in with that, because I love to read out viewers' comments.
Now, new tech is pretty thin on the ground this week, but something else that can be thin on the ground is your tyres, if you're fussy about your tread length. So, this tool was dangled in front of us by Doddy from GmbN, and well, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but what exactly is it? I'm going to bring up a tyre here. I've only got a mountain bike one here to destroy because it's, GmbN's. But essentially, this is a tread trimmer, and there's an adjustable little slide on there, so you can actually change how much tread you have coming out. But why on earth would you actually want this? Well, back in the 90s, as you can see here, Ollie's demonstrating it. He's just removed a little bit of tread. Back in the 90s, mountain bikers became really pedantic, I guess, or infatuated with their treads on their tyres, and they were actually using electronic strimmers or trimmers, I guess, something like that, to actually remove the knobbles from different parts of their tyres. And this could be a cyclocross racer's dream, I reckon. Particularly if they had a certain tyre that they loved the cornering abilities of, so it had big old knobbles on the side, but well, they had too many knobbles in the middle, so they wanted to just lower the rolling resistance just to get a bit of extra speed.
Well, turn it into a slick. I'll make it quicker.
Exactly. Yeah. So carry on demonstrating. Try and get off some of those bits again. Just show.
Do you know what? I'm gonna use this on my GP 5000s. Make them even faster. Just like.
Well, you'll be going down to the rim, I reckon, because you're removing quite a bit there. But things like this are great, especially in the age and era of marginal gains. I mean, this could be a real game changer.
This is one of Doddy's tyres, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Are you going to tell him about this, or am I?
I'm making it better for him.
What?
He'll be faster when it's slick and it's got no stuff on it.
He's a big lad. He'll beat us up again. He's like the playground bully, is Doddy. But in seriousness, I reckon this is absolutely great. If you're really particular about your tread length, just check it out. Yeah, we're slowly going to get a slick. Right, we need a new word as well, don't we, for marginal gains?
Small improvements.
Small improvements, there we are. If you've got an idea for a better word than marginal gains to describe those tiny little improvements you can make, or small improvements, let us know in the comments section down below. Next week, more tech. You're going to have to stop, he's going to kill you.
It's now time for Screw Riding Upgrades by Upgrades, where you submit before and after photos or videos of your bikes and equipment for a chance to win the ultimate prize.
What's the prize, Ollie? Why did I do that
The
voice?
GCN Capron. Here we go.
Oh, he loves it. Absolutely loves it. Right, anyway, last week it was between Philip and that Specialized that he bought, and Greg and that Merida. And the winner, with 89% of the votes, that's an absolute landslide, Greg and the Merida.
Smashed it.
There we go. Yeah, Greg, who had to buy a new bike to fit in with his mates. It just goes to show, having bikes gets you friends, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Nearly cost him his wife, though, didn't it? Because his wife wasn't happy.
Yeah, well, at least he's won a Capron.
Exactly, yeah. Get in touch with us on Facebook. You'll get a lovely Capron as displayed there by my glamorous assistant, Oliver. Although he is covering up that glittery gold Black Friday edition GCN long sleeve t-shirt. If you want one of those, head on over to shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com. Cheeky little plug there. But they are strictly limited edition only. Right. I've got my breath back.
They're not just strictly limited, they're quite strictly come dancing as well.
Oof. For those who don't know, that's a TV programme in the UK that Oliver aspires to be on. Right. Anyway, first up this week, we've got Tom from Coventry in the UK. Coventry, right. Tom needed a bike to commute to work on, but didn't want to spend much money. Tight-fisted. Tom had also just got back from Berlin, where Tom fell in love with riding around the city on a fixie. Tom searched eBay and quickly found an old 70s frame set and loads of cheap components too. Tom decided to cheeky replicate the look of the Eddie Merckx Hour Record bike, but tried to keep the cost as low as possible. All in, the bike cost Tom around 150 quid.
Bargain that.
That is a bargain, isn't it?
Well, there.
Look at it. From that nude frame to that orange beauty. I do actually like that typeface of the Merckx. And look at it. And he's riding safe as well there because he's got brakes on it.
I like the authentic saddle as well.
Yeah,
It's good,
turbo
that.
saddle, absolute classic.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
it's nice, isn't it?
Well, it is very nice.
Who's he up against? Though?
Well, he is. He's up against Todd from Franklin, Pennsylvania, USA.
Tom versus Todd.
Yeah.
Right, go on.
So Todd's project started in 2015 when he began cycling, and he purchased this bike from an online marketplace and has been upgrading it ever since. The majority of the upgrades have been purchased used or for a discounted price. Nice, always like a good bargain. My dad always likes shopping around as well.
Yeah.
That's good. My dad will be impressed with this. And Todd found this insightful, this whole process, and rewarding, and he learned a lot about building bikes, which is cool.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think just deep sections make any bike look better. But this
Blimey, look at the transformation.
well smart. Yeah.
That's gone from, got to say, I don't like the colour of that much, but anyway, it's not about us, is it, and what we think?
I like that colour. I also like the forearm chain set. I think that really smartened the
Yeah.
whole thing up.
Yeah.
The saddle looks really good as well. And my favourite detail
Go on.
is Todd's stem has stopped taking Viagra.
I'm going to ignore that. Yeah, but who's it going to be, Tom or Todd? I mean, I do like a Merckx replica, but
Yeah.
then Todd's bike.
tidy.
Does look good as
That's
well.
bang
Doesn't
tidy,
it?
innit?
Oh God! Who are you going to go for? You're going to go for Todd, aren't you, from Pennsylvania?
I'm going for Todd.
Yeah, Todd. I'm going to go for Tom. I love him, Mercs. Anyway, it's not about us. You have to vote for this. Up there, top right-hand corner. Tom or Todd? UK versus USA. Who's it going to be?
Todd.
You get to win a Capron if you're lucky. Right then, Bike of the Week time. The moment where you get to vote for your favourite bike of two that we put head-to-head. Give me a head-to-head. Head-to-head. Right, last week it was between the 1996 Pinarello of Big Mig. It was actually built by Dario Pegoretti, that one. And it was up against the aerodynamic Cinelli Laser. And the winner, the Cinelli Laser.
I would have gone
Big
for the
Mig.
Laser.
Would you?
I like that laser.
Yeah, one of my mates, he absolutely loves that. He was jealous I got to touch and stroke that. Anyway, who have we got this week then, mate? Yeah?
This week we've got head-to-head of two hyper bikes. So
hyper.
We've got the 4.28 kilogram mega super light Cannondale, customized by Stephen Rose. We've got a video on it, so if you've not seen it, check it out. It's awesome. Steve's a great guy.
Yeah.
And that's going head-to-head against the $40,000 Piedimonte that I saw at the Type A bike show. We also have a video on that. It's covered in gold leaf. So whichever you think should be the winner.
Vote up there. Who's it going to be? 4.28 Cannondale or $40,000 Piedimonte? You decide. Next week we'll reveal and we'll have two more knocking heads. Right then, time for the bike vault. Yes, and he's not ringing the bell because I'm ringing the bell. Right, crack on, mate. Who we got this week?
You're welcome to it.
I didn't like it at first, but I like it. Do you know what someone said in the comments last week? If Ollie doesn't like that bell, give him back that old police siren he had.
What police siren?
Exactly. That's going to come back just to haunt you.
First up, we've got Johnny from Brockenhurst in England, who has submitted his 2018 Trek Madone Project 1. It's got a custom paint job. It's got Ultegra Di2, Bontrager airless wheels, Look Gear pedals. That is proper smart. I like it because I've got one as well, and I love that bike. It's brilliant.
It is nice, but if I was going Project 1, I think I'd go for something a bit more adventurous than that. It's grey, isn't it? Is it grey?
Yeah, but it looks like it's got iridescent. It's got like the gold Trek logo and stuff on there, and the paint is... I mean, the Trek paint jobs are always just great. Like, they always just look nice in different light and stuff. They do a great job.
I know what you mean. And do you know... Despite the fact that I'm not 100% on that paint job, I think that the massive logos of Trek, that is actually what I absolutely love about those bikes. Yeah. It sounds silly. A lot of people, minimalist logos, things like that. No. You've got tubes as big as that. Let's fully logo them up. I think I know where we're going with this one.
That's a super.
Yeah, it's a super nice. What was that? Right, okay, next up is Jeremy from Antwerp in Belgium. Oh, I used to live there. This is Jeremy's Dancelli, and it's made of Columbus Max tubing, Campagnolo chorus, and those appear to have the absolutely beautiful Campagnolo Hyperon wheels, those shallow section carbons. I always dreamt of a pair of those. Jeremy, lucky lad in Antwerp. That's a beauty, isn't it?
It's in good nick, that bike.
Yeah.
I have to say I'm not the biggest fan of pink, like in that shade of pink.
Okay, is that more of a magenta-y colour or not?
I'm colourblind.
So are you?
Yeah, so I'm just guessing.
No wonder he liked that last one. I jest. Right.
Yeah, for me it's ticking all the boxes, apart from I'm just not sure about the colour.
For me it ticks all the boxes, because that's like a modern bike, isn't it? But it looks old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that's super nice myself.
Do you know, I'm going nice on that one.
Okay.
We have to both agree.
Nice one, Jeremy. Yeah. So there we are. It's a nice bike. Nice bike, Jeremy. Right, who's next?
We have David from Dunbar Beach, East Lothian, Scotland.
Oh my! Is that your Scottish? Right. No. Carry on. What's he got?
He's got a Bianchi Specialissima CV. And
sorry,
it's not in Celeste.
That's all right then. I was nervous. Right, a lot of people out there, they think I really don't like Celeste. It's not the fact I don't like it. I just wish that the bikes came in, well, loads of different colour varieties, like this one. I like that.
He's got Celeste touches though.
Yeah, but I think that's nice. It just pops out at you, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, the other thing is that might offend some people is...
Go on.
People often kick up a fuss, don't they, when you don't have Campagnolo on a BM?
Oh, yeah, any Italian
feel
bike.
about that?
People always, I don't care. No, I've got some Italian bikes and I've got non-Italian componentry on there. It's just personal preference, isn't it? You know, I think those days are long gone, really, and we shouldn't be, you know, dwelling on that. You know, Italian bikes must have Italian components. That's not true.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that's a super nice.
Super nice.
Yeah, super nice. Do you want to ring it? Go on.
Can I?
Yeah, go on. Pathetic. Right, okay, next up is Mattis from Stockholm in Sweden. Do you want to do a Swedish impression or not?
No.
No, okay. Now, this is Mattis's Genesis Volare 2010. It's been repainted. It's got SRAM Force, looks to have H+ some rims with Hope hubs as well, apparently, on there. That's a classic looking bike, isn't it?
Yeah. I like that.
I really like that myself.
He's cut his steerer. He's gone big, small with the pedals are in the right position. Cranks. You know, he's taken his bottles off and his saddlebag as well for the photo.
You ever been to Stockholm?
I haven't. I'd quite like to
nor
go.
have I. I'd quite like to go as well, Mattis. Personally, I think that looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
I really love a bike that looks so traditional, yet with a slightly sloping top to it.
That's a super nice.
Yeah, it's a super nice, yeah. Right, well, next up is Peloton. That's quite a cool name. It makes me think that's not their real name. They're from this is the Mount Gravatt Outlook, Brisbane, Australia. Another one of our favourite places, isn't it? Yeah. Peloton. Just bear that in mind. Christmas is coming and all that. This is a Linsky Helix Pro Tie disc. It's an unusual one, isn't it, that? Goldie coloured.
Well, it's a titanium bike, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
But I quite like how the gold paint job on the frame is blending into the titanium on the stays.
Yeah, nice.
That's a really neat toucher.
And a lot of spaces underneath that stem, isn't there?
There is, yeah, but...
Well, position's key, isn't it?
But yeah, and to be fair to him, it's not above the steerer. So I never like to penalise it when it's below the stem.
Yeah.
I think that's fair enough. That's you.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I see what you get. Yeah.
But... although he does have a gold chain on, which I think is going to maybe sway you.
Yeah.
It's not in the little ring at the back.
No, that's the biggest oversight on this photograph.
I mean, he's taken his saddlebag off. He's taken his bottles out.
He has got something on the back of the
cranks in
saddle.
the right. I think that's a little mount for his saddlebag.
Or a little light or something.
Yeah.
That's one of those Brooks saddles, isn't it? Like, you know, the modern ones.
Yeah. He's.
He was nearly there, wasn't he? He was nearly there.
Nearly
It was just the old big and big. You see, he probably got to the top of that climb, did Peloton, and they thought to themselves, hell of a view behind. Got to get that into the bike vault ASAP. Invite the lads over for Christmas. However, Peloton, you should have just dropped it down there into the 11 or the 12 at the rear.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a nice.
We can't let any old riffraff in.
No, we cannot indeed.
As nice as that bike is.
Yeah, we're here after all.
Yeah.
Right. Who? This is the last one, isn't it?
Last one, yes. We have got Andy from Boston in Massachusetts. That's how you pronounce
You've
it.
got to stop this. You've got to stop. You're going to get us in trouble. Right, what's Andy got then?
He's got his Nagasawa special.
Oh,
which
I tried to go and
stunning.
see. I tried to go and see Mr. Nagasawa when I was in Japan. I just couldn't get hold of him to go and see his workshop.
At the paint job on this single speed. Look at the bottom bracket there. That is beautiful. Beautiful.
NJS stamped.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, Nagasawa is a
legend in
specialist frame builder from Japan, and these things are very, very nice indeed.
We got Dura-Ace drivetrain, Sugino chainring, Nitto bars and stem. Look at that stem. Oh, that's a proper Sprinter's stem. Looks like an Izumi chain on there as well.
It's just...
wow, double toe straps. Look how it's propped up as well with a kryptonite lock. Panaracer tyres. Blimey.
Okay, this is getting X-rated, so I'm just going to cut it short.
Isn't it?
Right. That's super nice.
Yeah, that's super nice, yeah. I'm going to have to ring this. I absolutely love the bike vault.
Yeah, it's good,
it's
isn't it?
so good, isn't it? I can't believe the bikes that people send in.
Yeah, it's wicked.
Yeah. And how do they send them in?
Uploader.
down there in the description, just
here.
down here somewhere.
here.
Just got to go down a little bit more, and there it is. Oh, there's the uploader tool. Upload your bikes. Maybe you'll get in the bike vault. Nice or super nice? We decide. That's it, nearly time for the end of the show, but don't go anywhere just yet because, well, what's coming up on the channel this week? First up on Saturday, you get to come with me and visit Kurs, which is a bike museum in Belgium, and well, that absolutely blew my mind away. Sunday, we've got an unboxing where you could win a Giro helmet. Monday, maintenance. Wednesday, tech clinic. Then, well, we're back in here next Thursday.
We are indeed. And also, don't forget to go over to the GCN shop because we've got Black Friday deals on at the moment, including stuff on this new metallic range. So
yeah,
when it's gone, it's gone.
Exactly. You've got to be quick to buy that, and you special prices on that too.
Yeah, and if you'd like to watch another video, then, well, I think we're going to suggest two. Because your keyring video was great.
Thank you, mate.
Click down there for that if you've not seen it. Learn all about Japanese keyring racing.
Caring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
your hyper bike.
Yeah, that's cool. 4.28 kilograms. Stephen Rose's bike. Amazing thing that he's done.
Crazy.
Down here.